very good morning, my dear children, and I welcome you all for the English online classes. Today, we are going to start the last poem of your chapter of your book, that is 6.4, The Muddlehead. What do you mean by muddlehead? Muddlehead means a person who is confused all the time for doing any of his or her work. So let's start the poem. I knew a man from Bareilly, as muddlehead as could be. He always got mixed up with clothes. He wore his mittens on his toes, forgot his collar in his haste, and tied his tie around his waist. So here, can you able to see a person? See a man standing. The mittens which he has to wear on his wrist and on his hands, he is wearing on his toes, and the socks are in his hand. Tie should be on the neck. The jacket, you can able to see he wore it in the opposite direction, and see where he has kept that mug. All the things are confused factor, is it? So that's what it is given over here. The poet, who is the poet of this poem, The Muddlehead? Ogden Nash. So the poet, he is telling that I knew a man from Bareilly. Bareilly is a place, okay? So he is telling, I knew a man from Bareilly, as muddlehead as could be. He is a very confusing man. And what he does, he always got mixed up with his clothes. Every time whenever he used to take out his clothes, he used to get mixed up with the clothes. And what he do, he put his mittens on his toes. On his toes, he is putting up the mittens which he has to wear in his hands, and forgot his collar in his haste. You can able to see his collar. The shirt which he is wearing, that is in the opposite side. Okay. The backward portion he is wearing in the front, and the inside outside and out inside. Like that he is wearing the shirt. Forgot his collar in his haste, and tied his tie around his waist. And where he is tying the tie around his waist. So this is the person who is a lot confusing person. Okay, muddlehead, one who remains confused. And every time he is getting confused with his clothes. And what do you mean by mittens? Mitten means gloves that cover the four fingers together and the thumb separately. Okay. Next it's given, what a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. They told him as he went about, you have got your coat on side out. And when they saw his hat, they said, you have put a saucepan on your head. What a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So the people, those who were watching him, they told him that how you are wearing your coat, it is inside out. And see, in place of hat, what you are wearing a saucepan. What a muddlehead, what a confusing person you are, this man who lived in Bareilly. Next they continued, at lunch he scratched a piece of bread and spread some butter on his head. He put his walking stick to bed, and he stood in the rack instead. What a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So the poet, he is telling that what the man did, at lunch he scratched a piece of bread. Means at bread normally we are taking in the breakfast time, isn't it? But what he did, this man, he scratched a piece of bread at lunch. At lunch he was eating the piece of bread and spread some butter on his head. And instead of putting up the butter on the bread, what he did, he put up the butter on his head. He put his walking stick to bed, and he stood in the rack instead. Walking stick, where we are putting up the walking stick, umbrellas and all, in the rack we are putting. So in place of putting the walking stick in the rack, what he did, he put up the walking stick on the bed, and he himself has to lie on the bed, is it? But in place of lying on the bed, what he did, he was standing where the walking stick should be kept, that is the rack. So what a muddlehead person was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. Understood till here? That really this man was a really confusing factor man, because he don't know where to keep his clothes, he don't know where to wear the mittens, and how to wear the collar, how to put up the tie. He was even not knowing that his coat was inside out, and he was wearing a saucepan on his head. And this man was really a muddlehead, because in the lunch he scratched a piece of bread. He take up the piece of bread for eating, and instead of putting the butter on the bread, he put up the butter on his head. And he was using a walking stick. So instead of putting the walking stick on the rack, what he did, he put up the walking stick on the bed, and he himself was standing in place of the walking stick nearby the rack. What a muddlehead was he, really what a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. Next they continued. The poem continues like this. He walked upon a tram one day and climbed in very sprightly. Conductor thought that he would pay. Instead he said politely. So what he did once, he walked upon a tram. What do you mean by tram? A passenger vehicle driven by electricity that runs on rails along the streets of town. Okay, so what is a tram? It's a passenger vehicle driven by electricity that runs on rails along the street of a town. So that what is given, that this man, he walked upon a tram one day and very sprightly he climbed upon the tram. So the conductor of the tram, he thought that this person will be paying. Normally it's no children that whenever we are going through an auto, bus, tram, train, whatever we are using, we are paying for the tickets. No. So the conductor also thought that this person will be paying for the tickets. Instead of paying the money, what this man politely said, "Pardon your begone, Mr. Conductor. I am off for a week's vacation. I stop you to beg your tramway tar as soon as we reach the station." So how he is pronunciating it is pardon your begging. He is saying Mr. Conductor, that is Mr. Conductor. Okay, here the pronunciation is wrong, that what he is saying, because he was totally confused. It is Mr. Conductor, not Mr. Conductor, and it is tramway car, not tramway tar. Okay, so he said in this way, pardon your begging, Mr. Conductor. That means he wants to say that I beg of your pardon, Mr. Conductor, I am for a week's off, that is I have taken a vacation leave, so I just stopped you over here to beg your tramway tar. That means I stopped you over here to beg for your tramway car as soon as we reach the station. So he just said to that conductor that Mr. Conductor, I am on a week's vacation. I came over here because I am on a week's vacation and I am just begging you to stop your tramway car because I want to go somewhere as soon as we reach the station. So what he said, continued. Conductor got a fright and didn't sleep that night. What a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So after hearing this, that the person is telling in place of Mr. Conductor, Mr. Conductor, and he's telling that I am a week's off and I stopped you over here for your tramway car. And as soon as we reach the station, I will be coming down from there. I will come down from your tramway car. So for that reason, the conductor was thinking, he was frightened. Dar gaya. He was frightened. The conductor was frightened. And in the continuous thinking, he didn't sleep that night. He was not able to sleep that night properly because he was thinking about this muddlehead man, that what this person said, what is Mr. Conductor, what is tramway tar, and all those things was going on in his mind. That's why he was not able to sleep that night. And that again the poet is telling, what a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. After that, he rushed into the first cafe. A railway ticket, please. One way, and at the ticket office said, a slice of tea and a cup of bread. What a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So by seeing the picture you can able to understand, dear children, that very fastly he rushed towards the cafeteria, where we are getting coffee, tea and all. So he rushed towards the cafe, and after reaching the cafe he is asking that lady, give me a railway ticket please, and that too of one way. So he said to the cafe lady that I want a railway ticket for one way. And after that what he did, he went to the ticket office and there he said that I want a slice of tea and a cup of bread. Is it possible to have a slice of tea, chai ka tukda, bread ka cup? Is it possible for us to take? Not at all possible. Can we take slice of tea? Can you cut the tea and you can take? Or else can you take the cup of bread? In the cup can you put up the bread and can you drink? No, it's not possible for us. So that's what it is given. What a muddled head was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. Why? Because in place of going to the railway counter, he went to the cafe and there he was asking for the ticket, and in place of going to the cafe, he went to the counter, railway ticket counter, and there he's asking for the slice of tea and a cup of bread. That's why the poet is telling, what a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. After that, the poet continues, he passed the man collecting the fares and entered a carriage awaiting repairs that stood on a siding all by itself. Half of his luggage he put on a shelf, the rest on the floor, his coat on his lap, and settled himself for a bit of a nap. All at once he raised his head. I must have been asleep, he said. Hey, what stop is this? He cried. Bareilly, a voice replied. So after all this, what he did, he just passed the man who was collecting the ticket fares and he entered to a carriage place where repairings have been done. So he went to that, entered the carriage, and there he stood on the siding train. Siding train means what? A side track where trains can stand when they are not being used, okay, for cleaning or for some other purposes. The train which was kept at the side track when they are not using for any kind of running purposes or any kind of use, at that time when the train is kept at the side track, it is known as siding. So that's what he is telling, that stood on a siding. The train was, he was seeing that the train was already at the side track, but then also what he did, this muddlehead person, he just stood on the siding, he just stood on, taken his half of his luggage and he stood on that train which was at the side track, okay. And what he did, half of his luggage he put on a shelf he put up half of his luggage, and rest what he did, on the floor he kept. And where he has kept his coat, he kept his coat on his lap, and he settled himself for a bit of a nap. Nap means choti si neend, a small sleep you could say, okay, taking a little bit of rest by closing your eyes, that is known as a bit of a nap. Nap means a short sleep, okay. So that's what it is given, that after keeping all his things in the shelf and all his things, rest of his half things on the floor, he just took off his coat and he put it on his lap, and he then settled himself for taking a bit of a nap, for taking a short sleep. And then what happened, all at once he raised his head, and suddenly he woke up and he raised his head, and he said, he took out his face, he took out his head from the window and he said, hey, what stop is this? He's asking to the person, whoever is going on from there. So he asked, what stop is this? He cried, and he started crying. So Bareilly, a voice replied. So some voice replied, some person, they have just told him that it's Bareilly. Okay, after hearing this, what happened? Let's see how he is taking out his head from the window, and yet now he is wearing that saucepan. What a muddlehead really. Okay, so next it's given, once again he closed his eyes and dreamed he was in paradise. When he woke, he looked about, raised the window and leaned out. So once again what he did, again he closed his eyes and he started dreaming. What he started dreaming? That he was in paradise, that he was in a very good kind of place. Okay, he started dreaming. And when he woke up, after getting up, he looked about. Again he started looking outside. And again he raised the window and leaned out. He raised the window, he opened the window and he just started leaning outside to look that where he has been. I have seen this place before, I believe. Is it Kalka or is it Kaliv? Tell me where I am, he cried. In Bareilly, a voice replied. So again he just opened the window and he was just leaning out of the window and he asked, he thought in his mind that I have seen this place, I think so. It's looking like Kalka or it's looking like Kaliv. Then again he started crying and asking that tell me where I am. Then again a voice replied that stupid, yet now you are in Bareilly. Then again he continued. And so again he settled down and dreamed the world was upside down. When he woke, he looked about, raised the window and looked out. I seem to know this station too. Is it Jammu or Jaku? Tell me what it's called, he cried. Bareilly, a voice replied. Again he took a settle down over there, and again he start dreaming that the world is upside down. That is, the mountain, the sky is on the floor, and the floor, earth, that the land has gone up. Like that he was dreaming, and again he woke up, and after getting up, he started looking out. Again he raised the window, and again he looked out, and again he's thinking, and he's telling to himself, I think that I have seen this station too. Is it Jammu or Jaku? And again this muddlehead person, he started crying that, tell me what it's called, where I am. Again a voice replied that, muddlehead, yet now you are in Bareilly. After hearing second time the same thing, that yet now I am in Bareilly, he got very angry, and what he said, up he jumped, it's a crime. I have been riding all this time, and here I am where I began. That's no way to treat a man. What a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So this person, he got very angry. He just jumped out from the train, and he started saying all those things to the train driver, that it's a crime, you people have been riding all this time, and yet now I am in the same place. Though the train was running, you people were riding the train, but yet now why I am here in the same place where I have started? It's not the way to treat a man. You people have taken money, and you people are behaving to me like this, yet not taking me from one place to another. Why? So what a muddlehead was he, that man who lived in Bareilly. So he was a muddlehead person. Why? Because it was not the responsibility of the train driver to took him from one place to another, because he was sitting on the wrong train, the siding track train, which is of no use. So I think you all understood this poem. Really, he was a muddlehead person, is it? So let's finish up this, and after this we will start doing our activity sheets. After completion of all the activity sheets, we'll start the rest of the grammar portion. Okay, and after that writing skills will be starting. I hope you all understood the poem, dear children. Kindly read the poem once again and try to understood by seeing this video which I have made. It will be easy for you to understand the poem. Okay. Thank you, dear children. Have a nice day ahead.